Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to Hauntra. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that you don't miss any exciting coming up videos. Nathan Parker, a car enthusiast in his mid-30s, was ecstatic when he bought his dream car, a rare, midnight black 1972 Plymouth Fury, at a suspiciously low price from an old, dusty dealership along Route 13. The salesman, an odd, frail man with pale eyes, warned him about the car's history, but Nathan dismissed it as a sales gimmick. Driving home, he noticed the faint scent of burning rubber inside the car, though the tires looked pristine. Later that night, his wife, Lauren, swore she heard faint whispers near the garage, though Nathan shrugged it off. The car gleamed under the moonlight, its reflection almost unnaturally sharp. The next day, Nathan's neighbor claimed to see someone sitting in the car, even though it was locked. Nervously, Nathan checked the dashcam footage, but it only displayed static. As days passed, Nathan started feeling an unusual attachment to the car, finding himself drawn to it even when he wasn't driving. Driving to work early one morning, Nathan encountered dense fog along Route 13. Out of nowhere, a shadowy figure darted across the road, forcing him to swerve violently. His car skidded but stopped just in time. Getting out to check, he found no one there, only a strange black smudge on the hood of the car. Shaken, he returned home but didn't mention the incident to Lauren, thinking he had imagined it. That evening, the smudge seemed to pulsate under the garage light. Lauren noticed the change in Nathan's demeanor. He seemed distracted and edgy. Later that night, the garage door slammed shut on its own, startling them both. Investigating, Nathan found the car's headlights flickering, though the keys weren't in the ignition. Nathan started hearing faint whispers whenever he drove the car, especially during late-night drives. At first, he thought it was the wind sneaking through the windows, but soon the whispers turned into a low, guttural voice. During one such drive, his radio crackled to life despite being switched off, playing a haunting, static-laced melody. At home, Lauren grew increasingly worried as Nathan started spending more time in the garage, polishing the car obsessively. One evening, she joined him, hoping to ease his mind, but the garage felt oppressively cold. As she reached out to touch the car, she felt a sharp, inexplicable pain in her hand. The next morning, her palm bore a faint, charred mark. Reports of unexplained accidents began surfacing along Route 13, all involving drivers claiming to see a black car with no driver that forced them off the road. Nathan's coworkers teased him, joking about the phantom car, but Nathan couldn't shake the eerie coincidence that these accidents happened near where he had purchased the Fury. While driving home one evening, Nathan spotted a police blockade near Route 13. A mangled vehicle lay overturned by the roadside, its driver shaken but alive. As Nathan slowed down, he caught a glimpse of his own car reflected in the wreckage's shattered glass. Strangely, his car appeared in the reflection before he even reached the scene. One afternoon, an elderly man approached Nathan at a gas station, staring intently at the Fury. "That car is cursed," the man whispered hoarsely, his eyes clouded with fear. He claimed to be the son of the original owner, who had mysteriously disappeared after purchasing the car. "It demands blood," the man added before hurriedly walking away. Nathan tried laughing it off, but his unease grew. That night, he researched the car's history and discovered chilling tales of its previous owners, all of whom had suffered violent fates. Lauren found him sitting by the computer, pale and shaking, as the sound of screeching tires echoed faintly outside their home. One sleepless night, Nathan went to the garage, drawn by a faint glow emanating from the car. He found the Fury's headlights flickering, though it was switched off. As he approached, he heard whispers growing louder, forming disjointed words. Drive. Forever. Pay the price. Suddenly, the garage door slammed shut, trapping him inside. The car radio blared static as the engine roared to life on its own. Panicked, Nathan grabbed a wrench, but the car's wheels screeched and its headlights flashed blindingly before everything went dark. When Lauren found him hours later, he was unconscious on the garage floor. Against Lauren's pleas, Nathan decided to take the car out for one last drive, hoping to rid himself of its grip. As he sped along Route 13, the car seemed to gain control, accelerating on its own. Nathan wrestled with the steering wheel, but it resisted, veering dangerously toward oncoming traffic. The whispers returned, louder and more insistent. No escape. The dashboard lights flickered erratically as the car's speedometer shot past its limit. Nathan managed to slam on the brakes just inches from a steep drop, but the car engine growled angrily before finally dying down. Desperate to rid himself of the car, Nathan took it to a mechanic named Joe in a neighboring town. Joe, an experienced hand, promised to check the Fury thoroughly. Hours later, Nathan returned to find Joe visibly shaken, refusing to touch the car any further. Joe claimed the engine was alive, pulsating like a heartbeat. When Nathan laughed nervously, Joe showed him a video of the engine turning on by itself, despite being disconnected. As Nathan drove away, he noticed Joe locking his shop and muttering prayers. For the first time, Nathan truly feared the car. Lauren grew increasingly terrified of the car and begged Nathan to sell it. But Nathan, despite his fear, felt an inexplicable connection, almost as if the car wouldn't let him part with it. Their arguments grew heated, with Lauren threatening to leave if the car stayed. One evening, Nathan returned home to find Lauren packing her bags. As she tried to leave, the garage door opened by itself, and the Fury's engine roared to life. The chilling sound made Lauren freeze, and she decided to stay, but her fear of the car deepened. Nathan reluctantly used the Fury for a late-night drive to clear his head. As he glanced in the rearview mirror, he saw a faint figure sitting in the back seat, a shadowy woman with hollow eyes staring at him. Panicked, he swerved and nearly crashed into a tree. When he turned around, the back seat was empty, but the smell of burnt rubber and faint whispers lingered. Terrified, Nathan parked the car by the roadside and walked the rest of the way home, vowing never to drive it again. But the Fury somehow found its way back to his driveway by morning. Nathan visited the dealership where he had purchased the car, only to find it abandoned and boarded up. He tracked down a former employee who reluctantly shared the car's history. Decades ago, the car's first owner, a notorious criminal, had died violently in it during a police chase. The car, recovered and sold multiple times, left a trail of mysterious deaths and disappearances. The employee claimed the car chose its owners and fed on their fears. Nathan felt a chill as he realized he might be the car's latest victim. That night, Nathan woke to the sound of the Fury's horn blaring incessantly. He rushed to the garage, only to find the car's headlights blinking rhythmically, almost as if it were alive. Lauren, too frightened to intervene, begged Nathan to stay away. As Nathan approached, the car doors unlocked on their own, and the radio crackled to life, playing distorted voices. One word stood out: mine. The garage light shattered, plunging the room into darkness, and Nathan stumbled back, his fear now palpable. In desperation, Lauren contacted a local psychic, Clara, who agreed to examine the car. As soon as Clara entered the garage, she gasped and clutched her chest, claiming the car was a vessel for a vengeful spirit. "It feeds on torment," she whispered, urging Nathan to destroy it. Clara performed a ritual to weaken the car's hold, but midway through, the Fury's engine roared to life, and the garage shook violently. Clara warned that destroying the car might anger the spirit, but keeping it would mean certain doom. Nathan realized he was trapped in a deadly choice. Determined to rid himself of the car, Nathan drove it to a junkyard late at night. The Fury resisted, its steering wheel jerking violently as if alive. Finally, he arrived and handed the car over to a skeptical worker, who promised to crush it by morning. As Nathan walked away, he felt an intense dread, as though he were being watched. In the distance, the Fury's horn blared once, almost like a warning. By dawn, Nathan learned the junkyard worker had died in a freak accident, and the Fury was back in his driveway. Nathan's behavior changed dramatically after the junkyard incident. He became reclusive and irritable, spending hours sitting inside the car, muttering to himself. Lauren found him one night with bloodshot eyes and trembling hands, claiming the car spoke to him, promising freedom in exchange for loyalty. Nathan's health deteriorated rapidly, his face gaunt and hollow. Lauren feared the car was possessing him, draining his life force. One evening, she found him slumped in the driver's seat, unconscious but clutching the steering wheel tightly, as if fused to it. Lauren, desperate to save Nathan, doused the car in gasoline and set it on fire while Nathan was asleep. The flames roared high, and for a moment she thought she had succeeded. But the fire abruptly extinguished itself, leaving the Fury unscathed. Nathan woke up screaming, clutching his chest as though in pain. The car's windows were fogged with words written from the inside. "You can't escape." Lauren realized the Fury was indestructible, its curse deeper than she had imagined. Nathan, now fully under the car's influence, decided to take one last drive, claiming it was the only way to end it. Lauren pleaded with him to stay, but his mind was made up. As he drove along Route 13, the car's whispers turned into deafening screams. The road seemed endless, looping back no matter which direction he turned. Shadows danced along the roadside, and ghostly figures appeared in the rearview mirror, their hollow eyes staring accusingly. Nathan realized he was trapped in the car's domain, a phantom road with no exit. In a desperate attempt to break free, Nathan accelerated toward a cliff, intending to destroy himself and the car. The Fury resisted, its brakes locking and steering wheel twisting violently. But Nathan held firm, driving the car over the edge. As the car plummeted, Nathan felt a strange calm. The impact was deafening, and for a moment, everything went black. But when he opened his eyes, he was back on Route 13, the car pristine, and the nightmare starting all over again. Lauren, now alone, began seeing the Fury parked outside her window every night, its engine rumbling softly. She realized the car had claimed Nathan and was now coming for her. Seeking help, she found Clara again, who suggested an ancient ritual to bind the spirit. With Clara's guidance, Lauren prepared the ritual at the site where the car first appeared. As she began chanting, the Fury roared to life, charging toward her. With moments to spare, Lauren completed the ritual, and the car vanished into thin air, leaving only silence. Months later, at a car auction in another state, a man eagerly purchased a rare midnight black 1972 Plymouth Fury. As he drove it home, he noticed a faint scent of burning rubber and a static-laced melody on the radio. The Fury gleamed under the streetlights, its new owner unaware of the nightmare that awaited. Somewhere on a dark highway, Nathan's ghostly figure stood watching, his hollow eyes reflecting the curse that would never end. Thanks for watching, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel for more new videos.